Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for clicking on 5 News Web News. It is Tuesday, February 26th. I'm Brittany Hoke.
And I'm Matt Heckel, and here are some of the top stories we've been following today. A man was killed in Doddridge County yesterday while cutting down trees at work.
That's right. Now, a log crushed that worker at around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. It happened about 2 miles down a side road off of Pumpkin Center Road. The man was cutting down trees for a right-of-way when that accident happened. Apparently, he was cutting down one tree and it hit another that had already been cut down and was lying on an angle. That tree fell on top of the worker who tried to get out of the way. 4 other people were working in that area, but they were not hurt. The investigation is ongoing. And a woman had to be flown to the hospital, or rather to the West Penn Burn Center in Pittsburgh, after a fire broke out at a home in Ritchie County. It happened at around 12:45 this morning at a home on Old Auburn Grade School Road. Flames had taken over that home by the time crews got there, and the house was destroyed. 2 other people were able to get out safely. The state fire marshal's office has been called in to investigate.
Well, a man who crashed his truck in Randolph County yesterday had to be flown to the hospital. It happened on Route 33 east of Elkins, heading towards Bowden. We're told his pickup truck somehow rolled over sometime after noon. Authorities are not sure how bad he was hurt, but we do know he had to be flown to Ruby Memorial Hospital. The Randolph County Sheriff's Department is investigating. And an accident on Sunday night on Route 92 in Barber County sent 2 people to the hospital, and we now know the names of those people. They told us 42-year-old Rebecca Cutright was driving around 6:30 or 8:30 rather when she somehow lost control of her car and hit a tree. She was flown to Ruby Memorial Hospital but is not listed as a patient anymore. The passenger in the car, 55-year-old James Cutright, was taken to Davis Memorial where he was treated and released. The Barber County Sheriff's Department is still investigating.
And authorities in Morgantown are still working to figure out exactly how a man died who was pulled, his body was pulled from an area creek. Investigators told us that they found the body of 31-year-old Christopher Hollis in Deckers Creek just outside of Morgantown on Sunday night in an area near Delslow. According to Mecca 911, the medical examiner was called to that location at a little after 7. There's no word yet on how Hollis died, but we're told that his body is at the state medical examiner's office in Charleston, and police are waiting on the results of an autopsy. If you know anything, you can call the Detectives Division at the Sheriff's Department. Their number is 291-7218.
Well, 19 Asian and European tourists are dead after a hot air balloon crashed in the Egyptian town of Luxor this morning. A spokesman said 1 tourist and the pilot survived the crash after a gas explosion happened at about 1,000 feet in the air. Hot air ballooning is popular with tourists to see the city's temples and tombs. Egypt's tourism industry has suffered a sharp downturn in visitor numbers since the 2011 uprising that toppled President Hosni Mubarak, with 2 years of political instability scaring off foreign tourists.
And a small fire broke out at United Hospital Center yesterday, causing a lot of smoke in part of that building, but luckily no one was injured. A nurse was able to put that fire out quickly. A machine which uses ultraviolet lights to clean the rooms caught fire in the 4 North section of the hospital. Crews had to use fans to push the smoke into a stairwell and out through the roof. Patients in the affected areas were moved to another section of the hospital while the workers cleaned up the walls.
Well, a Morgantown man slashed in the arm with a knife. Now the woman accused of doing it is in jail. 41-year-old Sherry Bowlby was arrested on Sunday. Now, according to police records, she was involved in a fight with a man, his girlfriend, and his daughter. Apparently, that man tried to leave, and that's when Bowlby supposedly got mad and threatened to kill him and his daughter. Apparently, that's when she picked up a knife and slashed him, cutting his arm. Bowlby's bond has been set at $25,000. And a Webster County couple was arrested over the weekend after police got an anonymous tip that they were making meth. Officers searched the Webster Springs home of 34-year-old Brian Clayton and 24-year-old Brittany Clayton and supposedly found a meth lab and several items to make the drug. And before we move on with the rest of our show here, let's take a look at what's coming up tonight for First at 5 and 5 News at 6. First up, more details on a log accident that killed a local worker.
Plus, cracking down on school safety. Officers now in some local schools, but how are we paying for it? You might be surprised at exactly how. And colder temps, rain and snow are moving into the area. How long is this going to hang around? Chief Meteorologist Ken Meehan will have a look at your first alert forecast coming up tonight on First at 5 and 5 News at 6.
And that does it for us here right now. Be sure to tune in tonight for First at 5 and 5 News at 6. Until then,
have a great day, everybody.